gets everyone fired up and cap-based. You can't replace Mark Stewart. There's no way. So we each decided to kind of take a break, and go our separate ways and pursue other things. So that's when you saw Ben and Tyler kind of leave the band. We had Jared fill in on drums, and we had Brian McSweeney and some other folks fill in on guitar during that last Adios tour. And so,
what was that like, stepping away from something that had been such a big part of your life for so long? I know you know, I'm sure, were you like, I mean, I know there's other things in your life that's like, was that difficult?
I mean, yeah, that's where a lot of things collided. I mean, you had the band fall hard. I had some things going on in my personal life. Yeah, that was a tough season. I mean, and you don't really build up a great 401k in Christian music touring. You're kind of making. We were making. I can't say we weren't taking care of him. We weren't making good money, but it allowed us just to pursue the American dream and have a family. I had 3 kids at that point, and my wife and I, and we were building a house, and so it's kind of like, oh wow, the band's shutting down, and that was my income, and I don't know what I'm going to do next. And maybe I did again, go back to my early days of coming from a broken home and all those things. I was probably listening to the enemy, and he was saying, yeah, you're washed up, Will. Those are the best years of your life. How are you ever going to compete against that? What can God ever do with you then? Now, or now, post audio, and what gifts do you really have? I mean, you only play bass, and you're probably not great enough to be a studio guy or go out and really play for any other big band. What would you do? You can't produce, all these things. And so I started to believe those lies, and I mean, God had to kind of take me through a really tough season. Take me through a really tough season. He had to kind of break me down to build me up, and that meant going through some things that were tough, and both personally with my kids and my wife, and then he started to restore, he started to redeem, he started to grow me, he started to show me what I was made of and how he had gifted me. And if I just chose to believe what he would say about me, and what my friends would say about me, and what people who would pour into me, pastors and stuff, would say about me, that he could really start to mature me and get me along the road. And that's when we were doing some audio talk stuff. Mark and I wrote a record called No Hope Collective.
Oh, cool.
And that was with a bunch of some of our friends, musical players and friends and writers that